Hey guys, what's up? It's Kanesha Morrison on episode 12. I still cannot believe we're at 12 weeks of consistency. That's really what I started this podcast for. I started as a way to overcome my fear of Facebook Live. I absolutely hate Facebook Live. I hate public speaking. I don't like that you have to put yourself out there and you may get judged and what people think about your opinions and all those things. So because of that, this was my way of overcoming my fear of public speaking by putting myself out there every week. Although it is a challenge, this definitely grows me because it forces me to have to face my fear of going live, be a little bit vulnerable, have some transparency. And I just thank you all for always being here and being supportive with me during this time. I do this as a Facebook Live every Tuesday over at facebook.com/lashes y'all. You are able to find me, Kanesha Morrison, recording this live. So thank you for being here. Although I may not comment and interact, I do see your comments as they come through. So feel free to share your aha moments with me. If I say something that resonates with you, drop that comment below. Although I won't respond because it is live recording and we're downloading it and reposting it for people all over the world to be able to listen to. Still transcends, chills down my spine, the fact that little country Kanesha from Memphis, Tennessee can have people in Germany listening to her. It's amazing to me. So today we're going to talk about what it has been like being a woman, specifically a woman of color, in network marketing in my 7 years thus far. I have been an entrepreneur now for 9.5 years. 7 of those years have been with a particular cosmetics company that I have partnered with. And I've learned a lot along the way. I've learned so much being a 21-year-old girl starting this business. I failed a lot and I've learned a lot. I've learned to win a little bit more. And it seems like over specifically the last 6 months, my focus have just been much greater. Besides the pandemic and the race war that's going on, I have struggled because I'm 29. I'll be 30 in December. And this was the year of greatness, right? It was going to be 29 and fine. That's what I named it. And my push word for the year was authentic. I was going to be authentically me. That was going to be my goal. I was going to be authentic regardless. So this year started off really rocky because I really didn't know who I was or where I was going. That is tip 1. You don't have to know what you need to do or who you are before you start that business. If you have a burning desire in you to do something different and just, you want to be different, do different, have more to be more, you just have to start. I didn't know I was going to be great at this. I didn't know I was going to be an entrepreneur 10 years later. I didn't know a lot of things when I started being a 21-year-old kid. And now being 29, I still feel like I'm a kid, but I've definitely lived a fast life really quickly. So that's tip number 1 for you today. Know that you don't have to have all the answers to start. 2, pick and choose your battles wisely. I got a lot of opportunity when I started my business. Podcast, write a chapter in my book, be a guest blog post, come here and be a guest for this, fly here and be a public speaker for that. And I said yes to every opportunity. And a lot of the times the opportunities were right on top of each other. I specifically remember during a travel period of my life where I jumped out of one plane, came home, I was home 3 days, and I jumped in another plane. So know that there's a season to run and there's a season to reap. So know the difference between running and reaping. I was running to build the business. I am now reaping the reward of the business. There's a difference. So when I was building, I needed to know that I had to pick and choose my battles wisely. Being a woman of color in network marketing specifically, or women in general, we don't usually win in this arena. So to partner with a cosmetics company and to partner with a company that did not necessarily market to women that look like me, I had to learn how to get smart and pick and choose my battles. Oftentimes, a lot of people try to make my battle about racism, right? Because I was the only woman of color. I am the only woman of color that has earned $1 million with my company thus far. I'm like number 25 top income earner out of 160,000 presenters. So because of that, I knew I was going to have certain adversity that I was going to have to continue to overcome. And if you are a woman, you have a set of adversity that you're going to have to overcome. And I really wish that we focused more on collaboration instead of competition, because my light doesn't dim yours, because my success is not a reflection of you. It is literally a roadmap that you can too. And if we as women would just shift that, because I work with a lot of women. So when I was picking and choosing my battles, I had to decide, okay, I pitched this idea to corporate. They weren't quite sold on it just yet. Or I had to pitch my idea to this blog and they weren't sold on it. Or I would write a guest blog and they would change my word to fit more of their demographic. They would take out the fact that I was a black woman. If I wrote being a black woman in business, they would edit it and just say being a woman in business. When I had to learn that in order to build the platform that I needed to build, tip 4, you have to learn how to play by the rules that are here. What are the rules that are in place? What box are you in? How can you play by the rules, and how can you stretch those edges to get to that next level? When I started my business, I had no network because I had burned through them, because I had done so many previous businesses. I knew the stigma that I was dealing with being in network marketing and being a small business owner, because there is a stigma placed upon us that you are not really a small business owner. You don't really own a business. How do you own a business that you paid $99 to be a part of? Please understand that when you partner with a company, you just did that. You partner with them. But your individual marketing, your photos, how you talk to people, the verbiage that you use, the lifestyle that you sell, the follow-up systems that you have, the integrity that you build, your network, because in order to be successful in network marketing, you have to always be networking. That is your brand. That is your small business. So please understand that the two are completely two different entities. When you sign up to be a part of a bigger organization than you, network marketing or direct sales, that's just a small pie of your business. Your real business is how you position yourself and set yourself up for success. All the network marketing is they just gave you a product to push or a service to sell, a free website to do it through. But you building your own business and you building your own website and you capturing your own leads and you following up for your own business, all of that is on you. That is what makes us small business owners. It's not because we're selling a dream. So tip 5, everybody's not going to believe in what you do. So when I realized that the adversity that I was going to have to overcome, specifically from black women, when they went to the website, they did not identify or recognize themselves. So they oftentimes didn't support me. They was like, this doesn't look like something that is meant for me. So I had to overcome objection with that too. And if you are a small business owner, you are going to experience objection. And know that tip 6, objection is not personal. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to whatever you're offering. And everyone isn't going to be a part of the Kool-Aid. I learned that you can be the biggest, sweetest, nicest peach, and there's going to still be people that don't like peaches. So learning how to play by the rules, learning when to say no, positioning yourself when to run and when to reap. Because I've built this $1 million brand for myself now, I still look like a $10,000 woman. And I do that deliberately because I want women to know that you don't have to have a Louis Vuitton bag or the Chanel purse or the Nike shoes or the Champion outfit in order to be successful in this. I started in old rags with dusty hair and a woman that didn't even know how to put on lipstick. If you look at my beginning photos, I had a humbling beginnings. I didn't know how to put on foundation. Eyeshadow was like non-existent. It was all the way up to my eyebrows. The lip gloss didn't even cover all of my lips. I stopped it halfway through. If I could, country bumpkin from Memphis, Tennessee, I wanted anyone to know that they could do this. I've actually had people tell me, girl, if you could do this, I know I can, because I do makeup better than you do. And I learned what set me apart. Plan, do, review. They thought because they had all of these makeup skills that made them better than me. But I learned from the great Michael Jordan, talent will take you nowhere if you don't master the skill. Tip 7. Talent will take you nowhere if you don't master the skill. So I became a master storyteller because that is what I'm very great at. I can do something and explain it so vividly that a 6-year-old can understand it and be able to do what I do. So that is what set me apart. Although your face may be beat to the gods and you are the most gorgeous person I've ever seen, you cannot out hustle me. You cannot outwork me. I will change more lives than anyone else. Tip 8, you have to figure out what sets you apart from the competition. I'm not the best picture taker. I don't have the best photos. I'm not the best makeup artist, but I know how to write that speaks to people's heart. I know how to speak from my heart where anyone can relate to that. And that's what I did. I went all in on it and I pressed the edges against it. And I talked about the things that people were afraid to talk about. And tip number 9, you have to reinvest into yourself. So I never took public speaking classes, but I am always invested into me with getting a coach or taking the course or learning a better way to keep evolving myself, because I know what got me here won't take me there, but the bones are still the same. Tip 10, we get complacent and comfortable because we get a way that works. So we hit the pause button because it's working, and we go to reap season before we're done sowing. So I learned that my way, tip 9, I learned a way to be different from the competition. And then tip 10, I kept hitting that pressure point and I kept hitting that wound. So a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in, I had the same energy that I had when I first started the business versus looking around. A lot of the people that started when I started, they got tired. And it wasn't because I realized that I was in a sprint marathon. So I ran. And then I would take a step back and then I would stabilize what I had. So understand the stages of business. You have to plant the seed, then you reap the harvest, then you have to stabilize the business. You can't just run, throwing seeds all over the place and not maintenance the field. Tip 11 is my bonus tip for you guys today. Know that when life knocks you down, you have to have systems in place to carry you through it. When my daughter passed away, I didn't have systems in place because I was the system. I showed up daily, doing the things, being in the trenches, showing up, being in and out. But I had to understand that I was the missing link when I had to take a step back and grieve and get my family stable, because I run my business, my family, like a business. It's all business. What's for dinner, how to plan it, when to get groceries, haircuts, new clothes, shoe schedules, getting kids to sports events, when you need to be at school, cleaning schedules, room checks, family meetings. We do all those things. I run my life as a business in every aspect. Me and my husband have check-in appointments. We check in, we have date night, we have mandatory meetings, we have self-checkups with one another. We bridge the gap because we run everything like a business here. But I learned that from my daughter's experience, because when life happened, the quiet storm was waiting, because I had ran for 4.5 years in my business. I never hired an assistant. I never had to write anything down because I was a robot. I worked all the time. I didn't pause to eat. I love what I do, and I did it with a vengeance, and I was relentless to the point where I had to pause. I never found an assistant that could be all in the way that I was. Tip 12, know that people are not going to work for your dream as hard as you do. So because I had to take a step back during that grieving period, there was no one that could fulfill the shoes that I had filled, because the shoe was just so big that the business went backwards because there was nothing to hold it stable anymore. So now if I get sick or something happens, or God forbid a tragedy happens, I can now pass this on to my assistant and say, here's this spreadsheet, here's the follow-up, here's the customers, here's how you need to go back and do this. I've already written out some things. I've learned to schedule things. So this is going to continue to post. This is more of my verbiage. Here's 20 posts that you can do. That is called reaping. So as the field is reaping, I have probably 100 posts already written in my computer saved for the day. If anything happened again, I can just send this to someone. Here's the caption that you need. Here's the photo you're going to post it with. I now know what it means to be able to have your business run with you not being there. And if you're not there in your business yet, I advise you to take some time to do it, because no one is going to work your business the way you do. The bottom line of Testify Tuesday is there were not many opportunities for women of color in network marketing, in direct sales, in the entrepreneurship world when I came in. So I became literally a sponge, and I looked around and I looked for women that were better than me, and I looked for people that were going harder than me, and I allowed that to motivate me. I pitched myself to different blog talk radios and blogs and guest postings and all the things that I could do to get my face in front of people, and then I stayed consistent doing it. So if you got anything out of today's podcast, feel free to hit that share button. Let someone know. Tag me in your stories what you watch and get. I would love to be able to see your feedback and know what you really think about this, because Testify Tuesday has become something that is so near and dear to my heart that, I mean, we're on episode 12. This is crazy. We are here and we are doing it. We are doing the dadgum thing, and I could not do it without all of you listening and engaging and encouraging and cheering, because tip 13, none of us build a business alone. None of us. I am nothing without you, and I am grateful for you, and know that you can be better by being better. If you want more, you have to have more, right? If you want more, you have to be more. Doing the bare minimum is not going to build you $1 million brand. It's just not. And there's a famous quote that says, Beyonce has the same 24 hours as you. But at the end of the day, we all know that Beyonce built a team. It's not just Beyonce doing the things. So know that while you're building your empire, it is meant for you to know that humble beginnings can take you to $1 million brand. Kanesha Morrison is proof of that. So don't compare your humble beginnings to my chapter 29, because my chapter 21 was horrific. It was horrific. I did not start here. I had people that looked down upon me, that talked down upon me, that looked at me as a failure, that couldn't understand how someone of my caliber could just be so authentic and talk about the prison dad, talk about the hopeless romance mom, that put people on blast is how they felt. But I realized that I did not build my business for people's opinion. I built it to be vulnerable and transparent, because when I began to shell off my layers and expose my hurts and my pains, it took me to another level in business, because I realized nothing could hold me back. I laid out my skeletons, so there was nothing to hold me back. That was my biggest thing. When I released the burden of what other people thought about me, I became an amazing woman. So I'm excited. Thanks for being here. I will catch you guys on the next podcast. Have a beautiful day.